Hello and welcome to Q&A Sunday, episode 7, Generations. I was going to do a Star Wars one, but they haven't given the official name of Star Wars episode 7 yet, so we're just going to move on from here. Alright, we got a ton of questions this week, so let's get started. Adam Busker comes back at us with question number 1. Do you think we will ever get a decent game-to-movie adaptation, especially with Ubisoft working on movie adaptations of Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, Rabbids, and Far Cry? I think the last one might be incorrect because Uwe Boll did a Far Cry movie that was poorly received, like every other one of his video game adaptation movies. Interesting note, Stuttering Craig of Screwattack was actually in there, but not really credited, and so was Handsome Tom while he was still with the site. Do I think we'll ever get a good game-to-movie adaptation? As long as people go with the expectation that they're not going to do the exact storyline from the game word for word, that it has to be its own property. I mean, people have been asking for a Metal Gear Solid movie for years, but basically what they want is just Metal Gear Solid 1. You know, Snake on Shadow Moses fighting Metal Gear with Liquid and Ocelot and Meryl. But come on, if you wanted to do it, just play the game. There's your movie right there. If you just chop up all the cutscenes and put them in, there's your movie right now, even longer. Do I think we'll see one? Probably not. We'll just get, some, mediocre at best to god-awful. Well, as long as Uwe Boll doesn't have a hand in any of them, then we should be okay. Question 2. Do you prefer Star Trek or Star Wars? I like both. I don't really prefer one over the other. I mean, I grew up with Star Wars. Return of the Jedi was the first one I ever saw. I never got really into Star Trek until actually Voyager came on and DS9 started going into the wormhole with the Defiant and fighting the Dominion. When they started the Dominion War in the Alpha Quadrant, that's when I thought the series got good. The first couple of years there, when they're just kind of stuck on the station with those shuttlecrafts, were really, really, really boring seasons. So I don't really prefer one over the other. I like them both equally. I love both franchises. Number 3, do you think DC should connect their TV universe to their expanding cinema? 1, thereby using Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin from Green Arrow / Flash in the upcoming movies. Do I think DC should connect the TV universe to the expanded one? Absolutely. Are they going to do that? No, because Nolan and Snyder have created their own universe with Man of Steel and the Dark Knight trilogy of movies. And we unfortunately will not see these people playing those roles on the big screen anytime soon. Because as popular as these series are, I mean, Arrow's pretty good. They're on, they're in 2 seasons now. They're going to start season 3 next fall, and The Flash is going to start up next fall. But these are still pretty well unknown names. I mean, they're pretty big in television, but not big enough to carry a movie by themselves. I mean, they want to get bigger names on there. I mean, that's why they got Affleck for Batman, because despite what people say and hate on him, he is a big name in the business, so that's why they put him in there. Number 4, besides Batman, who else do you like from DC Comics? I like let's go down here. Despite one certain online critic says, I love Red Hood, Jason Todd. After he died and was resurrected and came back as Red Hood, I thought he's just a way better character. Let's see. Batman, Green Arrow, Flash. I pretty much like the whole Justice League. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Basically, the Bruce Timm series of cartoons, I really enjoy. Slowly trying to get into Superman. I'm starting to watch that. I don't know. It's for me though. Superman it's too colorful. I want to say it's too bright. It's too flashy. I know there's some really good episodes of Superman animated series in there. I just haven't got to them yet. But I prefer the grittier one. So Batman, Batman Beyond, and Justice League Unlimited. Those are some of my favorites. And all right, now we're moving on to my partner in crime, also another Screwattack network partner, Ozzy Arcane, another cohort of mine from Reviewers Unknown, asks, I got one for you, Johnny. Obviously, we were all surprised by a lot of the, all inspired, sorry. We were all inspired by a lot of the That Guy with the Glasses crew, but many of us have had our video watching interest change. Curious to who you still watch on Blip YouTube now. As far as YouTube, it's pretty simple. If you want to know who I'm watching, just, look at who I'm subscribed to. That's what I'm watching. That's always coming up on my feed. As far as Blip goes, probably I've kind of whittled it down to maybe 3 or 4 producers that I just consistently watch on Blip itself. So whenever their videos go up, I watch it before they post it on their site. One being Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic, Noah Antweiler, the Spoony one. Another cohort, Mark Muse, who does Raw Reactions, which he just reviews the past Monday night's Raw. I like watching that just in case I can't catch the show for myself and to see what's happening in the world of wrestling, at least on Monday nights. And occasionally, whenever she puts out videos, because I know she's got a new job and it's taking her away from everything. I know she's working on an anime, but she won't say which one. I still watch Nostalgia Chick. Everything else I just kind of watch on that guy with the glasses, but I really don't watch a whole lot. And it's probably going to be a little less soon because of the Blip Purge, which I haven't talked about really a whole lot, but I am part of that. Thankfully, all my achievement horrors are here on YouTube. My other series where I was just doing vlogs about wrestling, they're kind of old and I don't care if they get deleted. The only one I'm kind of upset that I'm going to be losing, though, is my Channel Awesome Battle Royal video I made. Because everyone seemed to like that. I mean, Benzai, spoiler, winner of that Battle Royal, put it up on his site, and I got put on the Transmission Awesome blog of the week when that was still a thing. Well, they think they're back now, so who knows? Maybe I'll get some more on there. That's the only one I'm really sad about losing. I still have the file somewhere, but just I don't think I'll be putting it up on YouTube. Just to I'm using Jim Johnson's old classic synthesized Royal Rumble and WrestleMania theme songs. So that's going to kind of stick up. But yeah, that's what I'm currently watching right now. And tastes do kind of change here and there. I have unsubscribed to some people just because, it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. They're not evolving. They're not changing their style. They're not keeping with the times. So I'm not going to name names. It's just, if you want to know who I'm watching, just check my subscription. Street Horror 8 TE4. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I am laughing at this one. How often do you go to Angie's Show Palace, and will you be hitting up Magic Mountain this summer? P.S. I clicked like. Okay, I have to, as OSW Review would say, splicey some images. So if you're just listening, please come back to the tab and look at these images. What you're looking at right now is an image of Angie's Show Palace. This is the one, and mind you, only strip bar that we have in my fair city of Moncton. We used to have 2, which would constantly get switched out by different owners, different names. I think once it was a gay strip club, and then it reverted back to females. Yeah, this is the only one that we have in town. And I don't go to it. I've only been once. And unfortunately, it was the DD, so I could not enjoy it. And even if I was drunk, I don't think I would enjoy it because the average age of your stripper in that place was 35 and above. There was one person there, I think it was in our age range. When I went, it was like my early 20s. So I'm going to tell just a quick little story. So I was just standing there making sure no one got in trouble, no one touched the dancers, so that I didn't have to bail anyone out of jail, and figuring out what we were going to eat afterwards. One guy spent all of his singles and all of his, the highest single we have is a 5. So he spent all his 5s on one girl just because she was under 20. She was in the mid-20s. So he kept giving her money for private dancers and hogged her all to herself. That was pretty funny. But yeah, don't plan on going there ever again because internet. For hitting up Magic Mountain. Now, I saw some people tweeting out that they were going to Magic Mountain and realizing that they don't live where I live. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's another place called Magic Mountain. Well, Magic Mountain is Atlantic Canada's largest water park. Players, slides, pools. We have a gigantic wave pool that, they just put hydraulics in the back and they make giant waves and you splash in it. Lazy river, all that good stuff. All that stuff you find in any water park. But I always tend to like to go once a year. Unfortunately, probably not this year unless I could rustle up some spare funds, because it's about $30 a person to go in if you go early enough. You don't want to ever go in late because, the sun's going down, it's getting cold, and all that fun stuff. So we'll try to make it out. I'll have pictures up on Facebook or Twitter if we go. All right, final set of questions come from Jake Hammerquist. Number 1, with Double Helix having done reboots of Killer Instinct and Strider, is a franchise you would like to see make a return. Also, thumbs up for Star Fox on Wii U. Franchises, I think I may have entered this a couple of Q&As ago, but franchises I'd like to see come back. Yeah, I think I've already answered that, so check back in a couple of other QA videos. I've answered which ones I want to come back. So, moving on to number 2. I apologize for phrasing of this question, but is there a game or games that you admit to being nostalgia blind for? Okay, so defining this as I'm blind for nostalgia, I like this game besides its faults. One of them is I've done a full Let's Play for, and that's Godzilla for the NES, which a lot of people pan as just being bad. I don't think it's bad. I like it. You know, it's something I played when I was younger, and I got a lot of enjoyment out of it because I knew, what to do. Even though I don't think I've ever technically beat it. Probably Iron Sword, Wizards of the Warriors 2, the one that has Fabio on the cover. That game's not all that great, but I still enjoy it for all its faults because it's it's one of those games I grew up on. Those are probably the only ones that I can think of at the moment. Probably the last one I think would be, I don't know what everyone's opinion of our Super Conflict is, the army strategy game for the Super Nintendo. That's something that's just, nostalgic for me and also sentimental because that's one of the few games me and my dad played, and that's the one my dad played and beat like crazy. Number 3, everyone has that one classic game that they absolutely go nuts for. What falls under that category for you? For me personally, it's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. For me, probably the one I most go nuts over, and this is still in nostalgia, it's Bionic Commando. I love the original Bionic Commando. Love Bionic Commando Rearm. Rearm 2, I never actually finished, so not so much. Yeah, one I'm going through right now that I'm kind of going nuts over is Bayonetta 1. Because I'm getting hyped for Bayonetta 2, and also the Nintendo Wii U HD remake, which is going to include all those classic Nintendo costumes that Samus Bayonetta, because she can dress like Samus, Peach, and Link. And also some of her hair finishers or climax moves will be like Koopa Troopas and Bowser. So that's actually going to be pretty interesting. Favorite and least favorite protagonist and antagonist in games. Protagonist, probably one of my favorites is Shepard, Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, because you get to control how much of a dick that he or she can be. And in the same vein, antagonist, I really didn't like the Elusive Man because he didn't do anything. There's actually concept art for him going full Reaper. He was going to get transformed into like a huge beast at the end instead of having that like little dialogue quip with him at the end, with you and him and Anderson inside the Citadel trying to activate the crucifix. Trying to think of other protagonists. Antagonist. Can't really think of any that were really, really bad other than the Elusive Man right at the top of my head. And he has one last addition to question 3. Is there a classic game you wish people would just shut up about? Final Fantasy VII. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. I've tried on numerous occasions to get into it when everyone's just like cutting their wrist. Oh, Sephiroth's so awesome. Oh, poor Aerith or Aerith. I'll say it both ways just to annoy angry fanboys, but I've tried several times to play it. I got caught. I'm sort of I jumped in late on the newer Final Fantasies. I started on 8 on PlayStation, and I don't think it's as bad as people say. I played through it. It was fine. 7, I just can't get into it. It's just like I look at the cutscenes and like the first in the beginning, they're all blocky and still pixelate, and then all of a sudden they jump to being smooth and more defined. Like, what's that about? Like, what sense does that make? It doesn't. All right, so that's questions and answers for this week. Thank you guys so much for asking all your questions. If you guys want to ask more questions, leave it in the comments section down below, and I'll be sure to get to it next week. Until then, I'm Johnny Chase, and this has been Q&A Sunday. Take care.